Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently proceeding on forward here. We're running a small deficit at this moment, and I think that's reasonably okay. We're going to be finishing up our coal and iron mines soon enough. I do want to get back to work on government administrations soon. That's for sure. Mass communication was just unlocked. Cool. Do we want... I don't think there's another consumption tax that we want to put in, right? We could put one in on services and be quite positive financially. That's a theoretical possibility there. There's apparently a general protest, as in a general is protesting. Who is this guy? He is from the scholar officials, so I think that's okay. We'll fire him. And actually, he just straight up dies. I always love it when that happens. It's just like, oh, okay, that's not what firing is supposed to mean, but sure. Stock exchange, cool. So that gives us trade route bureaucracy cost and trade route of competitiveness. That'll be great. What do we want next? Are we working on something? No, that was what we got. That was what we were working on. So what do we want from there? Central banking? That's 3 years out. Maybe something in our production, like we have railways. Reinforced concrete? That is still 15 years out. So we probably don't want to go for that. I think that going for like central banking would probably be okay. Actually, modern sewerage might actually be better. That gives us construction sector max levels and infrastructure from population. So let's go ahead and do that. No problem. We're going to be wrapping up our construction on our last iron mine here very shortly. So that's looking very good. And all of these are eventually going to finish up. The question is, are we interested in actually continuing that? Well, I definitely do want to continue to work on our government administrations. No doubt about that one. Each of these is 15 taxation capacity. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up, let's see here, 10, so that would be like 20 for 300, and 30 would be 450, which would be a little overkill. So we would need something like 25 here. Would be what we would target for that. Okay. So we'll get that going. The biggest thing that we need is excess bureaucracy at this point, because we really do want to bump up our law enforcement level further. So that will be important. We'll get going on that. And we have good construction efficiency here. So that looks reasonably solid. I'm fairly content with that for right now. We'll let that proceed. Do we want to expand our construction at all? We could theoretically pull it off. Theoretically. You know what? Let's just go ahead and max this out. Not this one. Let's go ahead and max that one out for the purposes of getting maximum throughput. That'll be okay. A cryptic letter from the Ripper. Okay, so minus 10 legitimacy. That's unfortunate, but it's fine. And we do have reduced construction efficiency here in Jiangxi. That is understood. But we'll get these done reasonably quickly. Cool. So they're basically done. Will that take us negative financially? Maybe. We are still running a bunch of input goods shortages, so I do want to check in on railways here. Okay. So it definitely looks like these are 20 infrastructure each. I'm going to add in one here, and then we can add one to each of these locations. I'm guessing this isn't the real problem, and we don't actually need one here. But I'm guessing that's not the real problem. I'm guessing the real problem is people aren't working there. But we'll go ahead and do all of that, and we'll get those done eventually. We're also going to need to work on these input goods shortages. So we're going to have to work through this, of course, for a while. Out of curiosity, our engine production is sold by Motor Industries, of course. And where do we even have Motor Industries? So that is over here. And it's primarily the price of steel. So I do think that bumping up our steel production would make a lot of sense here. Something like this. So steel production would be good. Steel, of course, relies on iron and coal. So we would also need to bump up our iron and coal production. This is not shocking. So we'll do something like this. 5 iron and we're not producing any coal right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We'll produce some coal there. So that's a lot of things that we just queued up. No doubt about that. We're running a small deficit financially. I do expect that to go away and to not be a long-term problem. So we'll get these constructions completed, and they shouldn't be too lengthy, but some of them, they're going to take a little while. Not a tremendous amount of time, but some time. So we'll let that build until such a time as we are through these government administrations, and then we'll reevaluate. Cool. In the meantime, I do want to go through and make absolutely certain that we have one of each of these queued up for auto-expansion purposes, and we do. And I want to do the same with these, but I'm going to queue these up at the bottom of the list. Why did this go to 2? I don't know. Let's bring that down to 1. But like I said, these are at the bottom of the list. We are not prioritizing these. There we go. Gold mines are fine. Iron mines, we want to make sure that there's at least one for auto-expansion purposes. Lead mines, same thing. Sulfur mines, same thing. Logging camps. Oh, there's a lot of these potentially available. So we'll get all of those built. Cool. And we should probably prioritize getting some sort of raw resource production done eventually. But there we go, and we'll get our fishing wharves queued up as well. The primary purpose behind that, again, is just... Oh, there was an earthquake here. 20% devastation. And a famine. Okay, that's expensive, but we will bail them out. Okay. So the idea behind that, of course, is to come in here and be able to set all of these to auto-expand. Now, these are the urban areas, which are less big of a deal. We want to get the rural areas set to auto-expand right now. There we go. Cool. So we find ourselves in kind of an awkward position here. Negative on authority at the moment. And the question is, do we want to stop promoting national values over here? I think so. Just to bring us back positive. Cool. So these steel mills are going to be wrapping up shortly. The steel mills finishing up will help matters quite a lot for us. And now we're working on the railways. There's still an additional steel mill going to be finishing up eventually, but we're mostly working on railways now. So that's looking good. Our finances are kind of fluctuating between slightly positive and reasonably negative. And I think that is based entirely on how much we have in our investment pool. The Ripper has new victims, and we will go ahead and fund a larger investigation. So that does put us again negative in our authority. I'm okay with this being negative in authority, but we could drop our promoting national values here again. And I guess that's okay. Cool. Now again, this is fluctuating due to our investment pool. Whether we're pulling from our investment pool or not. If we're pulling from the investment pool, we're positive. If we're not, we're negative. So I'm okay with this. This seems reasonably fine. As we finish up a lot of this, we're going to switch this around to constantly being positive. So that should be okay. How much are we currently wasting in unrealized taxes? 1.12 million. So we definitely need to work on that. Okay. Some of these railways are going to start finishing up. And now all of our railways are under construction. Cool. And we're starting to work on these government administrations again, so we're definitely chipping our way through these constructions reasonably quickly. There's still a tools, steel, iron, engines, hardwood, input goods shortage. We will work on these. The transportation is being worked on right now. I think that engines, steel, and iron are the biggest things that we need to work on here. Iron is contributing to the engine's input goods shortage and to the steel input goods shortage. So iron is foundational to those two. So obviously we need to work on iron at some point soon. The question is, which point do we want that to be? But we're definitely doing well economically here. I would love to move up in our bureaucracy. Sadly, we're not ready to do that just yet. We do need to work on these government administrations for a bit. The good news is they're all going to build reasonably quickly because we don't have any construction efficiency issues here. In fact, it's boosted from efficient bureaucracy. I like it. So that's because of this state construction efficiency boost here. Cool. So that's reasonably fine. That helps to offset this construction efficiency reduction here as well. So that's fine. Yeah, I think we really do need to work on that iron input goods shortage. That's a big foundational issue to our economy. So I'm going to continue working on this in southern Manchuria. And we'll just queue up 5 iron mines there. We'll continue to work on our government administrations and this railway while we're building these iron mines. Iron mines are absolutely a foundational issue in our economy right now. Contributing to, well, they're contributing to all of these except, I think, hardwood. I think hardwood is standalone. So with that being the case, we could go into our logging camps, and I just want to grab here. We can max out that kind of like this, and there we go. Just get these logging camps going. In fact, I was going to cancel this, but we are working on it right now. So we'll just let that continue going. That's fine. So that will help with our hardwoods, and religion, autocracy, and nationality was successfully completed. Official nationality, huh? The state policy of religion, autocracy, and nationality has become the ubiquitous ideology of the king people. There are few who dare to question the absolute authority of the emperor. So we could gain 50 popularity and 10 interest group political strength for the scholar officials. We can make the Manchu people supreme and gain 20% assimilation for 19 years. Or 60% of the clergymen would become loyal, and we get 20% conversion for 19 years. I feel like assimilation or conversion would be better for us. Well, let's take a look at our population here. I want to see our overall population here. Okay, so in terms of religion, our religious unity is higher than our cultural unity. So we should take assimilation over conversion then. Cool. Let's do it. I don't need additional power with the political scholars. So that should be fine. We're going to wrap up construction on these logging camps, and the iron mines are going to finish up soon as well. Our railways are now complete. Our biggest problem with our railways is this engine's input goods shortage. That is the biggest issue there. So obviously we are going to need to produce more engines, but I want to check in here. Let's see here. Industry, motor industries, here. Yeah, it just uses steel. Okay, so the steel is being reduced in cost. I want to check in on our steel mills then. So industry in here somewhere, steel mills, there we go. And we look at this. Yeah, iron and coal are both still expensive. So we would like to bring down the price of both of those. And that is what we need to work on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll put in additional coal mines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There we go. So that's underway. We'll let those finish up. And then we'll finish up these government administrations, which are close to being done, actually. We are constructing at a reasonable clip. Not an amazing one, but a reasonable clip. I like it. I would like to build faster than this, but I don't feel like we can really get away with expanding our construction further. Especially not with this steel issue that we've got. So we're just trying to drop the price of steel right now. Actually, I want to check real quick here. Is it a production capacity or a price issue? It's a price issue. Okay. We don't have employees here, so that indicates that it's a price issue. And that we do need to drop the input goods cost instead of increasing the production. So that's exactly what we're working on doing. We're going to get these iron mines done. The coal mines are already done. Netherlands are colonizing all sorts of areas. That is absolutely fine. Our government administrations are going to be cleaning up fairly soon. Prestige or building wine output? We'll take the wine output, thanks. So that'll be fine. 7 weeks until our iron mines are done, and when that's done, our government administrations will be nearly done as well. We're, of course, working on all of these plantations, and I would love to see all of this finish up. We're 327 weeks out from that, and that's going to be a while. I want to check in 6.02 million unemployment, 79.4 million peasants. So we can definitely continue to expand our economy to a large degree. That's looking good. So our last 2 government administrations are going to be finishing up in 5 weeks. There goes one of them right there. 4 weeks on the other. And we are working our way through our cotton plantations, which are now basically done, as soon as this one's done anyway. But we do need to queue up additional government administrations. There's no doubt about that. We're also going to need to continue to work on our price of iron and steel. It's mostly iron. So for now, I'm just going to queue up. I'm thinking about taking this all the way to the max. Which would be, what, around 30? Yeah, and then cancel that one. So something like this. It's going to take some time to work through that many iron mines. There's fractional distillation finishing up, so that gives us a production method for our food industries. Buildings. There we go. And we'll go down to patent stills. Cool. Do we want to go into public trams? Well, no. We still have a transportation input goods shortage. That's mostly due to the price of iron. And we definitely need to be dropping the price of iron. So we're working on that extensively at this point. Lots of iron mines being worked on right now. We are running a deficit. This is not shocking. What we need more than anything right now is to fix this engine's input goods shortage. And that means reducing the price of iron. And so that's exactly what we're doing. Gold was depleted in West Borneo. That's not very relevant to us. Cool. So there's a bunch of iron mines finishing up there. The question is, are we going to see our iron input goods shortage drop off here? I mean, we can see our market price is still way up there. Yeah, we have a huge shortage here. Absolutely enormous. We're producing 295 right now. And we need 3.5 thousand. Each iron mine level is producing what? 40. Okay. Well, that's going to be increased somewhat by economy of scale. But we definitely need a lot more iron mines. No doubt about that. So that's fine. We're definitely going to continue to work on that. Iron mines need to be produced here. Beyond iron mines, I still do want to make government administrations. So we should hop in here and take a look. Sort by tax. There we go. 431. So that's close to 450, which would be 30 government administrations. Which I'm going to queue up, but are we going to put that at the end of the list? Maybe. There's power of the purse. I don't really care about that. No, let's put it at the beginning of the list for now. So we're going to need about 30 of these. Modern sewerage just finished up, and that will be a good thing for us. We don't actually need 30, though. We need 29. Okay, so modern sewerage finishes. That allows us to further increase our construction sectors, which I don't mind. I would like, let's see, postal savings gives investment pool contribution efficiency. That's not bad. However, there is steel frame buildings here. That's 19 years out. Central banking is only 3 years. Let's go ahead and take central banking for now. That seems reasonable. I do want to move these iron mines up. I want to make sure that the iron mines are happening first, before the government administrations. Excellent. A defensive pact? Pass. Okay. So there's not that many more iron mines that we're working on here. And 308. How are we doing on employing in these iron mines? Tools, coal, transportation. Kind of a vicious cycle there on the transportation. We can look to import tools and coal, potentially, and drop the price there. Alternatively, we can work on tooling. Like that. That is going to need some work, for sure. So we're going to work through our tooling, and coal is also an issue. There is a lot of coal queued up in here, and I would like to go to where these are. That was a livestock ranch. Coal mines. Beautiful. I guess we'll have that livestock ranch up at the top. That's fine. It won't take very long to get through, or we can just move it back down. But I want to get all of these coal mines that are in here and these iron mines that I believe were auto-queued at some point moved up. There's also a bunch of logging camps in here that would be also good to move up. And we're just going to work through... There's a lot here. Are we still running a sulfur input goods shortage? No. Okay. So we don't need that in theory. We'll move up all of these logging camps. The fishing wharves are fine to be lower priority. Okay, so let's just go through this real quick here. I want to see if there's any... This is a government administration here. That can be moved up. Anything else that is currently a coal mine or something along those lines? Livestock ranch is here. Here's a logging camp. Here's an iron mine. Those paper mills are probably going to be a problem eventually, but for right now, I'm not too concerned about that. The rest of this seems reasonably fine. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff here that's going to take time to work through. And that's okay. I just want to prioritize this stuff. Wow, the investment pool is at 650K? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Regardless, this is going reasonably well. Our economy is starting to... Well, it's still in a stagnant period, but that's mostly because of these input goods shortages, right? It's tough. There's no doubt about it. But I want to work on a bunch of these raw resources that were already pre-queued up. I do think getting these tooling workshops up to the top is of vital importance. The rest of this, I think, is in an acceptable order. I mean, this government administration is slightly awkwardly placed, and with its construction efficiency, The Ripper was apparently caught, and that is fantastic. So this government administration will finish up in 8 weeks. That is a good thing, of course. It is reduced construction efficiency there. So let that continue for the moment. And we've got 400 weeks on this construction queue. Fair enough. We're running a pretty decent surplus at this point. Do we bump these up to cap? Probably not all of them. But let's bump one of them up to cap and see what happens. Tooling workshops are going to need to continue to be worked on. No doubt about that. Okay, so we'll let this grow here for a little bit. 215. 216. Okay. This feels fine. We could probably do one more. So we'll do that. We'll do one more set of construction sectors here up to cap. And we definitely want that throughput bonus. Tooling workshops are going to be done very shortly here. We're briefly going to be negative, and that's understood. This defensive pact is fine. And yeah, there's some of these that are still low construction efficiency. But we're definitely doing better on our construction now, and that's very, very good. So tooling workshops are finishing up there. That will help some of our iron production. Is our iron production really a problem with lacking enough buildings? No. We need to work on the price of tooling in particular. Coal as well. So what we need to do here is we need to build some coal mines. We're going to build 5 of those, and we're going to keep building 5 tooling workshops at a time as well. So there we go. That's underway. And as we get that production set up there, I do actually want to check here. And that needs steel. Okay. So that's understood. We're also going to need some steel mills. Not shocked about that. In fact, I'm going to build 10 steel mills here, doubling our current number of steel mills. I do want to get the tooling workshops done first, and then we'll do the steel mills, and then we'll do the coal mines. Okay, but this is down to 360 weeks, so that is an improvement. And we're running a pretty solid surplus right now. So I think that means I'm okay with running a deficit for a bit. I'm going to get all of these construction sectors built. Cool. So those won't take all that long to construct, and that will accelerate our construction. We are going to run a deficit from this, guaranteed. I understand this. Food industry throughput? Okay, we'll clear out that wreckage. Okay, so we're going to run a deficit here, but I think it's worth it. So 264 seems okay. Minus 40k? Yeah, I'm okay with this. This is acceptable. Tooling workshops, steel mills are going to be finishing up. Our coal mines are after that. We've got a lot of stuff in here, right? We need a lot of raw resources, and we need to turn them into basic goods at this point. We need steel, we need tools, we need iron, we need coal. These are the things that we need above all else. Hardwood is a thing, but I don't think it's a major deal, to be honest. What we really, really need is to deal with these basic issues. Engines aren't actually that big of a deal at this moment. They will become a bigger deal later, but we need to build the foundations of our economy here. Basic level production, raw resources. This is what we need. And that's absolutely fine. Our steel mills are wrapping up here. But again, our steel mill production is not going to be great until we get our coal and iron under control. This is for the throughput bonus for now, but this will exponentially grow later. That's the idea. So these coal mines are underway. These logging camps exist. I'm not too concerned about them. I want to get them out of the way. So we'll just get that done. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to build stuff. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kintogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri 8, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.